Hang on to your hard hat. Today we tackle the torture chamber.
Oh my God.
No joke. Find out how workers build Minn Kota motors to take a licking.
Be careful, you might get wet.
What makes windshield wash not freeze at 30 below? Bring on the beakers. We're uncovering the science behind Splash.
I'm ready.
People are passionate about outdoor equipment. Get this. Americans spend more than $20 billion a year on gear. But no one ever really sees how their stuff gets made.
Well, that's where we come in. Each week, we throw open the factory doors and give you a behind-the-scenes look at how your favorite gear is made.
Made for the outdoors.
Okay, if you like to fish and you own a boat, odds are you own one of those too, trolling motors. They've been a staple among hardcore anglers the past 30 years now. Today, we're talking about Minn Kota motors. Quite the story, and see how they get made for the outdoors.
Mankato, Minnesota, home to Minn Kota.
Hi, Bill. Welcome to Johnson Outdoors here in Mankato, Minnesota. Right now we're at the warehouse.
Rich wheels us around Minn Kota's vast facility. Storage and shipping on this end. Way over here, production.
Oh, we're actually into the assembly area where we build the power drives and the cable drives.
The spot where Minn Kota motors come to life.
This place is hopping.
Yeah, it really is. You know, this is our busy time of year, and the orders have been going out of sight for us this year.
Several key components make up a Minn Kota trolling motor. The control box on top, the shaft, the lower unit, a foot pedal, and the steering housing.
All right, so the whole process starts down here on the end with my new buddies, Trish and Leah. Hi, guys.
Hi.
You're doing a great job. They're working on the motors.
The steering motors that go into Minn Kota's drive housing, the most complex part of a trolling motor. The part that makes the motor steer left and right.
They attach the power cords and then passing them on up to Eric. Hey, Erica. So your job is to take a lot of the different components of this thing and put them together. Like she's got the gears to put in, she's got the motor, the shaft pins, puts them all together and then pinches it so it stays in place. Okay, so then it slides down the line to Rita, and she adds more parts. She puts in a filter, she puts in a ring, as well as the cylinder, and then it moves even further down the line. So Kathy's kind of the anchor of the Cell 16. I mean that affectionately. She gets to lubricate all the gears, then she tests it to make sure the whole thing's working, and then she screws it all together. Her initials, her autograph goes on every unit. It's kind of like her saying, it's ready to go. Thanks, ladies. See ya.
Up next, a robot.
Basically, this is our robotic welding area. And what we do here is we weld our boss, this unit right here, to our steel center housings. As you can see, the robotic welder is putting the weld around the bead.
That piece becomes the shell of the trolling motor's lower unit. With the boss complete, the armature team builds the electric motor's guts, if you will. First step, stainless steel plates on a steel rod. Hydraulics pinch the pieces into a single unit, what's called the armature. From there, they take a rest in a giant heater.
All right, so when the armatures come out of that oven, they have to dip it in that cool green stuff. It creates a coating.
It takes special technique to get that coating just right. That powder melts on the hot metal and seals the stainless steel.
So after the armatures come back upstairs, they go to a star, Marlene the Rapper. I've never actually met a rapper before.
I'm sure you have.
You're the first. So what's your job?
Winding.
Well, I say she's still a rapper. Marlene wraps copper wire around the armatures, and it happens quickly.
I mean, it's fast.
It's fast. It's very fast.
With the armatures now complete, the team joins the pieces.
So this is the really loud part of the operation. Those bodies, they go through this big washing machine to get all the oil off, and then these guys go to work. What they're doing is they're gluing the magnets on the inside of the body. So what you end up with, an armature that goes inside that body. When you put some electricity to this, it spins, and that's what creates an electric motor.
So we have a lower unit, but this motor is far from complete. Up next, I try and stay out of the way.
Sorry, out of the way.
Made for the Outdoors is brought to you by Splash Products, Access Covers, Game Fair, and Coates RV and Ice Cabins.
So far, we've got the lower unit and the drive housing built. Up next, Minn Kota puts the pedal to the metal.
Yeah, they need lots of pedals.
If you're going to build a trolling motor, you've got to have some way to control it, right? Well, Minn Kota uses these things, foot pads.
This line builds trolling motor controllers. Up first, cell team number 1 wires in electronics and drops in the pedals for the left, right, on and off, and speed.
My name's Carol. I've been here 35 years.
Unbelievable.
And I plan on sticking around at least another 5. Right now, I'm 70.
Carol Kruger anchors cell 1.
I don't know how you remember where to put all those screws.
Well, you better not leave one empty.
So now that all the components have been built, they all come together in one spot to become a trolling motor. It's right here, cell number 4. This is a spot I've been told, I know, I'm out of here, to stay out of the way. Sorry, excuse me, sorry, I'm in the way, sorry.
No time for talk. One worker epoxies the motor shaft to the lower unit. After a quick water test to make sure everything is airtight, the control box goes on top. A tall task with motors almost 6 feet tall. Soon enough, the motor takes shape, and the first and maybe toughest test.
I will catch their airs also.
Meet Nicole Lundgren.
I like the quality before it goes out the door.
She makes sure everything works.
It's ready.
If not,
I catch it. I call recon. The guys come pick it up. They go fix it. They bring it back to the line. And I retest them to make sure it's good to go out the door.
only after Nicole's stamp of approval do Minn Kotas get their name. Like that, the Minn Kota process is complete. Or is it? I love this place. They'll just let me wander about anywhere.
Nobody ever gets to go into these areas. QC, quality control. We're going in to see some crazy stuff caused by a guy here is kind of crazy, right?
A little bit.
Steve, I'm Bill.
I'm Steve. Nice to meet you.
You have a reputation.
I do. I hope it's a good one.
What are you doing here?
Well, basically I break stuff.
Or at least he tries. Steve Lewis runs Minn Kota Motors through his ringer. This thing, Minn Kota's torture table.
A shaker machine. They go out in a boat, they record the toughest waves, the meanest conditions, record all that information into a computer which feeds the shaker, and it does that.
The very loud noises you're hearing are 40G impacts.
Oh, and I should mention, Steve condensed all the data from that rough boat ride.
And calculated out that if we run this test for 15 minutes, we're going to put all the severe shocks into it for 1 year.
Child's play, really. Steve has another test.
You might want to back up a little. You're going to see this motor go nuts. And what we're doing is we're looking for all the harmonic imbalances.
What you hear is the table vibrating at a very low frequency. And then Steve raises it.
Oh my God. You're sick.
That's how wonderful.
Oh my gosh.
It's so nice when your product holds up to all of this kind of stuff.
Officially the coolest thing we've seen this season.
Appreciate that. Take a lot of pride in what we do. Steve Lewis, qualification test engineer, Minn Kota.
Mean soul, torturer of all that is electronic.
If these motors can get past Steve, I should be able to run one too. It's no secret, anglers are tough on fishing gear, and trolling motors are no different. Suppose that's why the slogan reads, anytime, anywhere.
Minn Kota, who knew? A mix of Minnesota and North Dakota. Makes sense, right? Just another layer in the stories when you see how your gear gets made for the outdoors.
Coming up on Made for the Outdoors, are you seeing safely? Our next company has a product to protect against every element. We're making a splash in St. Paul, Minnesota. That's next. Welcome back to Made for the Outdoors. So taking the back roads is always more fun. Yes, your vehicle's likely to get a little dirty with maybe bugs, dust, or a little mud, but that's what windshield wash is for.
Splash, 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 apply a little splash.
Splash Windshield Wash is celebrating 20 years as a brand.
Little splash.
But Blue Water itself is a lot older than that. The first windshield cleaning unit dates back to 1936. Then in the late 50s, it became a novelty that a driver could push a button and clean the windshield. And these days, there is a rainbow of colors to choose from. This is Craig Reese from Splash. And Craig, where are we today?
We are in fabulous St. Paul, Minnesota at the Splash manufacturing facility. We make a multitude of windshield wash, de-icers, trigger sprays, concentrates, several different products that you use throughout the year.
So we better get to work. We want to see this tour, and it all starts with the rail cars. So the first step of the process is all the raw materials have to arrive via train. These rail cars behind me are filled with the methanol and also millions of these plastic little pellets that end up transforming into the plastic bottle. And how does that happen? Let's head inside to find out. Hi Don, how are you?
I'm great. Hi, Lindsay.
So they gave me these pellets. What do we do next?
We're going to turn them into this.
The resin pellets are melted by a machine called a blow molder at 350 degrees. The plastic comes out looking a bit like a noodle. It's then pressed into shape, and in 12 seconds, the bottle is formed. Next, the bottle has to cool, otherwise it will fall apart. You can see these bottles really don't look like bottles just yet. This is the tail, this is the head. These are cut off. I can do this job, piece of cake. All done. Even the scraps are reused. They travel up through this tube and are sent to recycling.
Anything we do, whether it be bottles we make or product that we make, we recapture anything that would be waste in a normal process.
Each bottle is then loaded into a conveyor belt system. And this single file line takes a wild ride to the other end of the building. So once the bottles come down the conveyor belt, then it's time to label them. And this is Tracy. Tracy, what's your job?
I am actually the production supervisor.
So we're supervising right now the labels.
As they come down the line, they individually go back into the machine like they're doing. The roll is perforated so that once it goes in there, arms grab on, pull the sleeves over the bottle.
But every once in a while,
It's like, I gotta go get that.
hold on, I'm coming with. One bottle gets a little out of line, causing a traffic jam.
What had happened is this bottle went in front of the eye, so therefore it stopped it from moving.
Yep.
We just take it out, it automatically switches, and it goes on.
We're good to go. Whew. Running back over here. Here we go. How many bottles?
I'd say roughly about 70 bottles a minute.
They're trusting me to put on the next labeler. I gotta hustle.
Flip in there.
Here. Labels are ready. And up next, it's time for some quality control.
Go.
Plus a flashback to the freeze. We find out which ingredients protect against -30.
She wants to race.
Made for the Outdoors is brought to you by Banks Outdoors, Open Air Solutions, Wiley Point Lodge, and by Central Boiler.
Welcome back to Made for the Outdoors. So windshield wash is a simple product, but we demand a lot from it. Streak-free shine, debugger, rain repeller, and sometimes mud removal. So when you think windshield wash, you often think blue, but that is far from the case. There is a rainbow of colors, and here to tell us more about the difference between these is Amber.
First, we have de-icer, your product for winter. Protects to a -30, helps against ice and frost. Then you have an all-season product. You can use it in the winter, you can use it in the summer. And then in the summer, you have a +32. Now this is summer use only. It has our special ingredient, our rain repeller in it.
The main ingredients in Splash are water, methanol, and dye. The winter products have a higher concentration of methanol, and washes that protect against -30 and -35 degrees have an extra proprietary ingredient. This large machine fills and mixes the water, dye, and methanol all in one. The workers are in charge of quality control. Let's go. Okay, so right on this line, we're watching for bad bottles. Found one. We're also watching to make sure that these are all consistent with their level. This line's rock solid. Gosh, I'm getting dizzy looking at all these. I can't figure out if it's the wipers or the actual bottles flying by. All's looking good. Uh-oh, dent. Was I supposed to get that? Oh, too full. Then you dump them out. It's all recycled. Sorry, Tracy, I'm not keeping up. I gotta get going, right? But you gotta take the label off. So now it's time to do a little testing. Grab any bottle?
Any bottle.
So we're gonna pour this into here, right? And this is a hydrometer.
Yes.
And so this is testing to make sure that it's the correct level of methanol in the product.
Yes.
So now I'm talking with a veteran. I hear you've been with the company for quite some time. How long?
About 15 years to be exact.
So what are we working on here?
Well, right here you got the cap, load up into the capper machine. Up here you have the hopper through the capper and caps the bottles.
We got to keep this full, right? So we got to get some of these?
Sure. Pretty heavy.
Oh, I got it.
You got it?
You get a workout here. That's Splash. Whew. We're done. We came to the end of the line. So it's now time to box it up. Okay, so the pallet's done. Gary, where are you headed?
Go back to the warehouse. I'll go back there and stack it. Come on, follow me.
To the right. Hold on, stop. Gary, bring it on in. Oh, to the left a little, Gary. There we go.
Well, we do about roughly 300 pallets a day, times 210, do the math.
How do these not freeze?
The basic component in windshield wash is methanol, and methanol is made to not freeze.
Let's now put this one to the test. Well, there's still ice on here. We have a little bit of ice that's still left on the windshield. It worked. It did its job. Bottom line, 2 words. I can see safely.
See safely on the road when you apply a little splash.
She wants to race.
So when I got here, Gary greeted me first of all with the horn honk. Let's hear it.
All's looking good.